What is going on, Arizona sports family? How are we doing out here today on this championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen? We got two great games coming our way. We got football Sunday, conference championships happening this weekend. We got Pro Bowl next weekend, which I'm not really a big fan of the Pro Bowl anymore. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not really, it doesn't give me anything. It really doesn't. But obviously, in 2 weeks, we got the Super Bowl. So, y'all, I'm very, very excited. Who do you guys got winning for this coming game? We got the Chiefs versus the Bengals, and then we got the 49ers versus the Eagles. Let me give you my picks real quick. I got the 49ers over the Eagles, and I got the Bengals over the Chiefs. Let's see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go ahead and get started on this episode. But first, before we do, this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing a promotion, I guess, right? If you do sign up with Underdog Fantasy, the app, if you use promo code AZSF, you will be getting, money back. So if you put $10, they'll give you $10. They'll match your deposit up to $100. So definitely go ahead and, stay tuned for that. I already put my picks in for this coming weekend for these next games. So I'm very excited. Hopefully you guys signed up with Underdog Fantasy. It's actually a really cool app. It's pretty easy to navigate. If you sign up right now using promo code AZSF, they will match your deposit up to $100. So definitely go ahead and do so if you want. If not, no worries. Let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the Sean Payton watch. Now, obviously, with what's going on right now, right, we're just kind of playing the waiting game. Now, for me specifically, there's a lot of news that kind of came out today that I felt like it was being recycled. Now, I feel like we've been talking about the same things over and over and over again. Now, we did see Ian Rappaport right earlier today on NFL Network, and we did see some other reports and, things that kind of came through. And I kind of want to give you guys some updates pertaining to what's going on with Sean Payton. Now, granted, do I think that Sean Payton is going to get hired on a weekend? No, I truly don't. Now, this coming week is going to be where it's really telling, right, for the Arizona Cardinals to really make a move, because yes, we met with Sean Payton on Thursday. We were all hoping, including myself, that Friday was going to be the big announcement. It didn't happen. We have the weekend. Nothing so far has happened right now. And then I think maybe sometime this coming week is when we're really going to kind of hear what's going on. But let's talk about some updates that we've been hearing. Now, I don't know about you guys, but ever since we've seen this picture from Kyler Murray, I feel like they're using the same story over and over again. They're talking about Kyler Murray like we didn't know that he was going to come back in October, right? Now, they're saying that, yes, obviously we know that he definitely tore his, what was it, the ACL, right? Tore his ACL. We all knew that. And for some reason, they're using this like we didn't know. Yeah, we know that in October is going to be when he's coming back. Now, we don't exactly know when in October, but what we do know is that he is not going to come back until he's officially 100% healthy. 100% healthy. So, I mean, that can be either that can either be mid-October, late October. So that's really going to determine if Kyler Murray is going to be missing 4 games to 7 games. So it's a pretty big deal, and I'm completely aware of that. It's just right now we don't really have a specific timeline, but we are kind of being told again, which we all already kind of knew, that he is going to be back sometime in October, and he's not coming back until he's full 100%. Now, this is the report that I kind of wanted to let you guys know. Now, around 11 o'clock, that's when the Fox starts their pregame show for these games. Now, this picture was put out here from Peter Schrager. Now, right next to him is Sean Payton right there. Now, if you take a look right there, he's got a little red on his, on the side of his sweater. Is that, forecasting? I'm just kidding. Obviously, that's a Jordan sweater, or at least, what Jordan looks like. So, I'm just joking, but he is in Fox right now. So I'm hoping to hear some more updates from Sean Payton right once this Fox broadcast starts, because he is one of the people in the panel. So I'm excited about that. Now, this is what the report that I wanted to kind of show you guys pertaining to what's going on. Now, this is coming from Dove Kleiman. Now, this is from Twitter. Now, please keep this in mind. This is all based off of rumors and speculations right now, but it does seem like he is quoting somebody down here, and that's Tom Pelissero, which is a very, very reliable source from the NFL. So this is what the report says. While Sean Payton told teams that he expects the Saints to only ask for a mid-first round pick for him in a trade, that's not the case. What teams had heard from Saints GM Mickey Loomis is that 2 first-round picks is what he's looking for. That's a part of the problem with hiring Sean Payton, per Tom Pelissero. Now, obviously, I like to do my due diligence and kind of look into Tom Pelissero's most recent tweets, and I didn't see anything about that, but it's possibly that this report came out because, obviously they have a show in the NFL Network in the morning, and I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not watching every single minute of every single clip and what's going on. Maybe he went ahead and reinforced that, right? Maybe he said that on a show. I'm not 100% sure, but this is not the first time we heard that the Saints are looking for 2 first-round picks. This is not the first time we've heard that the Saints are looking for 2 first-round picks. Now, we heard what Sean Payton said on multiple, Colin Cowherd's interviews, right, when he was coming in here and being a co-host from him, on those specific days. And we also heard Sean Payton say that they were looking for a first rounder. And it's really going to depend on what specific team, because if it's like the Panthers or the Cardinals, obviously it's going to be different. It's going to be different pertaining to what somebody else is going to offer that has a first round pick that's later in the draft, right? So it's a lot of unknown right now. And yes, we did get kind of this, this nugget that kind of popped out, but this is not the first time we heard that the Saints are looking for 2 first round picks. Now, if this is the case and if that's what's holding up this whole situation, now I truly believe that we do have mutual interest with each other, right? Now, whether it's going to happen or it's not going to happen, I do think that Michael Bidwell and Sean Payton want to be in business with each other, right? Now, maybe is that me being, buying into fool's gold? Probably, right? Maybe. But I truly do think that they do truly have interest. Now, is the Saints willing to deal? That's the biggest question out there, right? Because 2 first-round picks, I don't know if that's something that the Arizona Cardinals are going to want to do, right? Now, Sean Payton has been telling everybody mid-first round pick, but what the teams are hearing from Mickey Loomis, which is the GM of the Saints, is 2 first-round picks. And y'all, I don't know if the Cardinals are going to do that, right? Now, we talked about compensation before, in the past few streams that we were talking about. We've talked about compensation before, right? We said that, hey, maybe the second round pick that we're sitting at the 35th overall, we could possibly move off of that. Now, if they, twist our arm, we can maybe look into the 2024 season and their draft picks and see what we can do with that. But as of right now, getting rid of 2 first round picks is probably something the Arizona Cardinals don't want to touch. Now, and that's the reason why I put that, that picture out there, is that the main reason why the Arizona Cardinals haven't signed, Sean Payton yet is because of Mickey Loomis, and that's the GM of the Saints. I don't know if he's actually wanting to, I don't know, really work, or he's really kind of sticking to his guns, right? Now, this coming week is going to be very telling for the Arizona Cardinals, because if we don't get Sean Payton, right? If we somehow don't get Sean Payton, it's going to suck. It's going to suck. It really is. Now, we're already starting to see some people out there in the Twitter world already starting to hype up people like Aaron Glenn, right? I think there was a report that came out that said that if the Arizona Cardinals don't go after Sean Payton, somebody that they can look out for is Aaron Glenn, because he was a former player. He would bring that leadership skills to the Arizona Cardinals organization. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I will support Aaron Glenn. I might have to take a couple days to really, really get, my mindset that Aaron Glenn's going to be our next head coach, but I don't know if that's going to be it for Cardinal fans, like truly. But like I said, I think we'll support him once he kind of comes in, and hopefully he proves everybody wrong. But his name has been floating around pertaining to a person that the Cardinals can have interest in. And also Jonathan Gannon as another one, and that's the defensive coordinator from the Eagles as well. Now, I haven't heard anything about second interviews. Maybe the Arizona Cardinals are waiting for this coming week to announce the second interviews, but I'm not going to lie to you. This year, I feel like it's been very, very hush-hush from the Arizona Cardinals. Very, very hush-hush. Although we have heard some information, there has been some things in the background that we're not really privy to, or the insider sources haven't really gotten information to kind of let us know, right, as Cardinal fans, to see what's going on. So we're starting to hear Aaron Glenn. We're starting to hear Jonathan Gannon. And of course, right, Brian Flores is also a big, notable name to kind of talk about out there. But I think all of us want Sean Payton, y'all. I think all of us want Sean Payton, but 2 first-round picks, No, that's definitely going to be something that we're not going to get close to. And I'm right there with you for Cardinal fans. Like I'm on that same boat. 2 first-round picks. If Mickey Loomis is truly going to continue and hold his guns to that, it might be one of those things. Although it's going to hurt, we might have to say deuces. We might have to say deuces to that deal because, yeah, I don't see a world that the Arizona Cardinals are going to do that. Truly. Yeah, that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, right? I think a lot of us are going to have to kind of, lick our wounds a little bit, maybe take a couple days to kind of really figure out who the next head coach is going to be or whenever the next head coach is announced, right? But I said this on my last video. I don't expect the Arizona Cardinals to bring up another name, right? Like out of nowhere. I don't expect them to. Now, if they do, I will be shocked. And what I mean by that is throwing another name in this whole, head coach search, right? Now, I know they're trying to leave no stones unturned, right? And they have left no stones unturned, right? Giro Aviro, Aaron Glenn, Jonathan Gannon, Brian Flores, Sean Payton, Vance Joseph, D'Amico Ryans. Like we've like left no stones unturned already. That's already over 6 people that we had interest in. And that's not even to mention Frank Reich or Dan Quinn, right? Like there's so many people we brought in here. So there's a lot of unknown for Arizona Cardinal fans right now. And I think it's a little edgy right now, right? It's a little worrisome to be in a situation that we are in right now because we just want to know. We just want to know who our next head coach is. I know there's some people out there that don't want me, right, to hype it up because they're saying that I don't want people to get disappointed. I mean, that's just my life in a nutshell, right? As a Cardinal fan, it's just another disappointment on top of another disappointment. So, I mean, I'm going to continue with the hope and prayer that Sean Payton can still be the next head coach. But per this report that we ended up seeing from Dove Kleiman. Now, keep in mind, he is quoting Tom Pelissero. I didn't see a recent tweet about this myself, so please take this with a grain of salt. Now, and I also did say that he might have said this probably sometime, maybe during the morning show, because I wasn't privy to watch the morning show. But I'm just letting you guys know in what the latest report ended up saying here pertaining to Sean Payton with the 2 first rounders. Now, every time I mention Sean Payton, everybody always says, or there's somebody out there that doesn't really watch my podcast. They always say like, oh, we're not going to give up our first round, our 3rd overall pick. Nobody's ever said we're going to give up our 3rd overall pick. Y'all, stop it. Stop. Nobody ever said we're going to give up our 3rd overall pick. Nobody did. No Cardinal fan in this chat. We have over 150 people in this chat right now says the Arizona Cardinals should give up our 3rd overall pick. Nobody has said that at all. Now, I get what we're hearing out there, right? And a lot of people want to speculate in what's going on. We're not giving up the 3rd overall. And that's what the Saints want, deuces. Like that's all I can say, right? So whoever's our next head coach, like I said earlier, we're going to support them, but it's going to hurt to not see Sean Payton is the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals heading into the 2023 season. It's going to hurt. It really is, but we'll see. Got first contribution here of the day. What's up, AZ fan? He says, I think there is a deal, but the Saints GM is being very stingy. No coach stays the whole day to interview and not get a deal. This is ridiculous. Oh, exactly. Exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I put my thumbnail as I did, right? Like, I truly think that there's real mutual interest between the Cardinals and the Saints. There's real interest. I think they truly enjoyed each other's company. You're right. 7 hours interview. Put yourself in that situation. Now, I get it. This is not a job at Panera. This is not a job at McDonald's. This is not a job at Starbucks, right? I get that, right? Those job interviews don't last any more than like 2 or 3 hours. And that's pushing it, right? Those are probably 30-minute to 45-minute interviews. You're in the building for 7 hours and had lunch with this man. There's no way that I'm going to sit here and say there's no mutual interest. I do think there is. Now, the biggest thing is that is the Saints willing to deal? That's the biggest question out there. Is the Saints willing to go out there and say, okay, we're willing to deal, right? We're willing to deal. What can you provide to us? Because as of right now, we even had the Broncos. There was a report that came out that said the Broncos are still in it. Like it's still floated around that the Saints still want Sean Payton, but they even reached out to Jim Harbaugh for Pete's sake. When Jim Harbaugh already said that he's going back to Michigan, there were still talks back and forth between the Denver Broncos and Jim Harbaugh. Now, I think he went ahead and, dumped him again. I think he went ahead and, was like, no, bro, I'm not going to go back there again. So it's a lot, right? It's a lot to kind of unfold right now. And we still have 4 teams that need coaches, right? The Broncos, the Cardinals, the Texans. Or actually, not just those 3, right? I might be missing one. I'm sorry. And the Colts. Yeah, there is 4. The Colts. So the Colts, the Texans, the Broncos, and the Arizona Cardinals. All 4 of us are still looking for a head coach, right? Now, I do think that the Colts are going to go Jeff Saturday. I truly feel that way. At one point, I thought Dan Quinn was going to go to the Broncos. Obviously, that main prediction was gone. I say the Cardinals getting Sean Payton, and then the Texans getting DeMeco Ryans. But I mean, we're kind of in that weird situation right now where we know, right? As Cardinal fans, we know, and we feel it. We feel that something kind of feels like it should happen, but we're just kind of waiting here right now to figure out if this deal is going to get done or not. I don't expect this deal to get done in the weekend. I truly don't. And this Fox pregame show is going to start coming up here pretty soon within the next 15 minutes. And per Peter Schrager's tweet that he went ahead and put out there, he said, we got a lot of things to talk about. That's what he said. He captioned this with saying that. Or actually, let me go ahead and actually quote him a little bit better, so I'm not just kind of making things out of a whim. He said this. He said, great at NFL on Fox. Fox NFL kickoff starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. Quite a bit to discuss, ... And obviously with Sean Payton there, him right there, I'm not sure what they're doing, playing tic-tac-toe, playing hangman. I don't know what the heck they're doing right there. But obviously there's a kind of a lot to talk about pertaining to Sean Payton. I'm assuming they're going to touch on that. But if that's the case, I'm assuming that Sean Payton's not going to say very much. But I'm just going to be looking out for some keys and try to pinpoint him to come to the Cardinals, because I think we all want it, right? I think we all want it. So continuing to talk, if this is your first time here, guys, definitely do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube, on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't done so already, smack the like button. Do it for the algorithm. We got over 180 people in the chat right now. Subscribe it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can get over 100 likes on this video. Do it for the algorithm. Do it for the channel. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, so I guess a couple things to kind of continue to talk about what we're talking about, right? We got some updates pertaining to Kyler Murray. It's not really much that we don't know, but Kyler Murray was said to believe that he's going to be coming back in October of 2023, which we already knew. But they did also mention that Kyler Murray isn't going to come back until he's 100% ready to go. Ready to go. So that's a little, it's a little concerning. Are we going to see a move made, right, for the Arizona Cardinals for the, quarterback position? Maybe, right? Maybe. We'll have to kind of wait and see how it shakes out. But as we know right now, Kyler Murray is not set to start in the 2023 season because he's still rehabbing from his torn ACL, which is definitely very, very, very unfortunate. But we all want him at his healthiest, at his peak, for him to be as great as we know he could be. So we'll see. TBD. So there's that. And then obviously this report that came out earlier today pertaining to Dove Kleiman. He said Sean Payton told teams that he expects the Saints to only ask for mid first round picks for him in a trade. That's not the case. What teams have heard from Saints GM Mickey Loomis is that 2 first round picks. That's a part of the problem with hiring Sean Payton, per Tom Pelissero. So a lot right there, right? And I think most people in the chat can agree with me, right? Most people in the chat can agree that I don't think we're going to touch that with the 6-foot pole. So that's why public enemy number 1 is Mickey Loomis, ladies and gentlemen. Public enemy number 1 is Mickey Loomis. I don't even know like where this man is coming up with this compensation that he thinks he's going to get. Now, I was told by a Saints fan that like there really is no urgency, right? There really is no urgency from the Saints because they can technically bring back Sean Payton in a year or two when he decides to come back. Or if he does decide to come back next year, they'll just get rid of their current coach and they'll be rolling with him. But this is public enemy number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Mickey Loomis, GM of the Saints, doesn't seem like he's getting to be very, very liked within the NFL. He seems to be sticking to his guns, but I mean, that's just kind of the rumor right now, and we'll have to kind of wait and see actually how it shakes out. So we got somebody in the chat saying Mickey Mouse is crazy. Yeah, man, it's nuts. I don't get it. Somebody else says Jimmy. Oh, sorry, no, not Jimmy. Sorry, GM Mickey with the little, tier on their head. Yeah, Mickey Clown Loomis. Yeah, dude, I agree. I agree. Let's see, right? This coming week is going to be when we're really, really going to figure it out. Like I said a little earlier, I do think that there is mutual interest. 2 first-round picks. I don't think we want to touch that with the 6-foot pole. I definitely don't think we're going to touch that as well. Here we go. Second super chat of the day. What's up, brother? I do see somebody say Eric Bieniemy. I heard a rumor about Eric Bieniemy. I think he actually might be moving on to a different team. I'm not sure if you guys heard the same thing, but I heard that there is a possibility that we might see Eric Bieniemy move to a different team. I don't know if it's this coming year or the following year, because I think that a lot of people are worried that it's actually Andy Reid, that is making this team as great as it is. So I think he's going to find his way into a different organization. I think that's what the rumor was out there saying. So we'll see. Maybe Eric Bieniemy wants to be a offensive coordinator. That would be cool, right? That would be exciting. So we'll see. What's up, Jason? He says, what's up, Mike? 2 firsts? That's crazy. Thoughts? Oh, it is crazy. It absolutely is crazy. It is crazy. Like that's really the only thing I could say about that. Like, there's no way that any team in their right mind is going to do that. There's no team that's going to do that at all. Now, I know that there was somebody that said we can give him a second round, right? And maybe a first in 2024. I'm a little hesitant on that because we don't know the future of Kyler, right? We don't know the future of Kyler. So that first round pick could be very, very useful for the Arizona Cardinals, especially if we don't have a great season next year. It could be very useful for us. It really could. A second maybe sounds a little bit more, do something that I would like to do, but it's really just depending on what Mickey Loomis wants to do, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. But this is the GM. And if you guys don't understand my thumbnail, it's because this is the man right here, right? This is the man that I'm talking about. I put the Cardinals haven't signed Sean Payton because of him. This is who it is. It's Mickey Loomis, GM of the Saints. So, or we could be praising him next week, right? We could be praising him next week. We can be like, oh yes, thank you you so much, Mickey Loomis. But as of right now, it's still TBD in terms of what's happening with the Cardinals and their head coaching search. Somebody says he's out of his mind. I agree. I 100% agree. Peyton back to Fox. Well, Peyton is going to be in the Fox, in the panel. So there was something that came out here from Peter Schrager. He went ahead and released this photo, and he quoted it saying that there's a lot of things to talk about, like a lot of things to discuss, he said. And that show does start up here within the next 8 minutes. So I'm excited to see if there is some sort of information coming from the Sean Payton camp, Sean Payton to the Cardinals, that type of stuff. So we'll see. Got somebody in the chat saying Flores. Well, let's ask you guys in the chat. Who wants Flores? Right? Who wants Flores? I could honestly say right now, I think people would rather get Flores over any of the other people, to be honest with you, right? I think anybody would get Flores over VJ, right? Vance Joseph, Jonathan Gannon, Aaron Glenn, Ajiro Aviro, because right now, DeMeco Ryans, I don't think DeMeco Ryans is coming back. I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I don't think DeMeco Ryans is going to interview with us. Let's see here. Somebody says Aaron Glenn. Okay. Flores because Sean costs too much. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, Flores, it's a situation that, like, he shouldn't be costing as much as he is, right? Like, Mickey Loomis is the one who's making this a little too difficult, right? He's making this a little too difficult for everybody. And I don't get it. The 2 first-round picks doesn't make sense. Like, if you put it in hindsight, 2 first-round picks, like, the Eagles got A.J. Brown for a first-round pick last year, right? The Arizona Cardinals traded for Marquise Hollywood Brown for a first-round pick last year, right? So those are the type of things that I look at. Like, Sean Payton is great, and I do think that he's a really good head coach. There hasn't been a lot of head coaches that won the Super Bowl, let's be honest, and he is one of them that has won the Super Bowl. Yes, although it is one, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's only one. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that haven't won the Super Bowl, right? So let's not discredit that one that he's got. Although, yes, it is one. It's still a great win for Sean Payton, truly. So, yes, he's a Super Bowl winning head coach, but 2 first-round picks is a lot. It's a lot. What's up, Illadre? He says, we should get Flores and call it a day. It kind of feels like it, y'all. It kind of feels like it. It kind of feels like it's getting closer and closer, but I want to wait till Monday and Tuesday of next week first before I call it and say, oh, okay, it's Brian Flores. I want to wait until maybe sometime mid next week so we can hear a little bit more information. Because let's be honest, we're not going to hear anything, right? Over the weekend, we're not going to hear anything. The big stories is the Eagles versus the 49ers and then the Chiefs versus the Bengals. Like that's the big storylines, right? And rightfully so. It's championship weekend. So I'm excited about that. What's up, Jason? He says Mickey Loomis should get the shame image from you. Oh, yes. Oh, let's do that right now. Oh, I love that. I love that idea right here. So this is Mickey Loomis, right? This is all I got to say here to Mickey Loomis, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me if you agree. Here we go. This is a specific personal message here from Mickey Loomis.
Shame. Shame.
Absolutely. It's wild. I don't get it, and I don't think I ever will get it. 2 first-round picks just seems absolutely absurd to me. Absolutely absurd to me. And the way that other people besides the Saints fans see it, other people besides the Saints fans see it as, well, you're only losing hope for Sean Payton, right? Like, oh, his value is going to go down. If you continue to keep Sean Payton, his value is going to go down. That's the way that we look at it, right? From everybody on the outside of the Saints organization, we look at it as his value is going to go down. You're hurting yourself. The way that the Saints fans look at it is, hey, we have a head coach, especially because they're going to go ahead and they want to fire the current head coach right now, right? What is it? Like his name is Dennis Allen or something like that. Let's see here. I know it's Allen. Let me see here. Yeah, Dennis Allen. Yeah, he's a current head coach, and I don't think Saints fans are up and board with him right now. I don't think they're 100% a fan of him. So they're looking at it as if we don't trade him, it's no big deal because they'll keep him. But like, how do we know that Sean Payton wants to go back to the Saints, right? How do we know that Sean Payton wants to go back to the Saints? It doesn't seem like he wants to. Like, right? Like, truly, like, if you really think about it, like, I don't think Sean Payton wants to go back to the Saints. Now, maybe give it a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe he'll change his mind. But if he's willing to get traded out, I don't think he wants to go back to the Saints. So why would fans want him to come back? Like, I don't know. It's a lot, right? It's a lot to kind of dissect. It's a kind of a lot to unfold. But that's kind of the latest updates that we've had so far pertaining to Kyler Murray, which obviously it sucks that we're not going to have Kyler Murray until October of 2023. But we also got some updates pertaining to Sean Payton and what teams are saying Mickey Loomis is telling them. And that is that 2 first-round picks is what's going to be the asking price. I don't get it. I don't think I ever will get it. But right now, let's wait to maybe Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week. Because if we start hearing things like the Arizona Cardinals are going to do a second interview with Aaron Glenn, right? If we start hearing things like saying the Arizona Cardinals are going to do a second interview with Jonathan Gannon, with Brian Flores, then we know that the ship might have sailed. Not 100%, but the ship might have sailed to where the excitement was for Arizona Cardinal fans. So let's just leave it at that. What's up, Jacob? Appreciate the contribution. He says, I'd like to see the Cardinals try to imitate a 2013 Seahawks. Strong defense, strong run, and a play action. I agree. I like that idea. I truly do. I think the Arizona Cardinals, if they did go this route, I think we have some good pieces on defense. I truly do, right? Like, we don't really know. I don't think we've seen Isaiah Simmons unleashed to his full potential. I don't think we've seen Isaiah Simmons unleashed to his full potential. Zaven Collins is looking a little better, right? There is still some concerns for me as a fan. Cornerbacks, I feel like it needs to be addressed drastically. Because Byron Murphy is also going to be a free agent as well. So we don't know if he's going to come back. Hope he does. So we have that. And then we also have our defensive line. Losing JJ Watt is huge, right? Yes, we have some young pass rushers that look, promising, but if we can get a Will Anderson, that's a huge upgrade. But I do agree. I would like this defensive minded, defense wins Super Bowls type of mentality. I would like that, but we got to get the right people in, right? Got to get the right people in. And I do think we would need to get an upgrade from our running back core. I like Keontae Ingram. I like James Conner. I truly do. But I think we need to get a dog. Maybe somebody we can snag in the 4th round, 5th round, somebody in the draft that we can bring in that's going to give new legs out. So that's what I would like to see. What's up, Jason? I want Peyton first. I'll take Flores, though. All right. I respect that. I think that's where a lot of people are kind of feeling right now, right? I think that's where a lot of fans are kind of at right now, where they're like, this is what I want, right? But like, I think people would say Brian Flores over Ajiro Viro, Aaron Glenn, Jonathan Gannon, right? Or VJ, right? I would honestly say that I think people would say Brian Flores over them. Maybe there might be one or two that says they want Aaron Glenn. I don't really know too much about those people, but hey, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's all based on opinions at this very moment. So we got somebody say Mickey Mouse is acting like Sean's Randy Moss. Like, bro, he's not even a player. Exactly. Like, that's the crazy part. To me, as a Cardinal fan or just a fan of the NFL in general, you're 100% right. This is wild. I've never seen a situation that we're dealing with where, if this is true, right? If this is true, I want to make sure I fully emphasize this. If this is true and they truly want 2 first-round picks, like, what the heck? Like, that's wild. That's wild. Now, if we do bring in more people, right? If we do bring in more people this coming week, then we know that the ship is sailing a little further, right? I still do like the idea of Shane Steichen. I still like him. I know he didn't do a very good job with the Panthers, but like, think about it. Like, I'm not going to let one interview completely, dictate my job in completely, moving all the stones unturned as best as we possibly can. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's up, Jason? He says, what mock drafts would you do? So what mock draft would you do and who do you target? Like, what mock draft simulator have I used? I like to do the mock draft network and the PFF. The PFF, I like it because I could trade players away. The mock draft simulator, I don't have the option to do that, which is maybe because I got to buy something, but I do like using it. And obviously Will Anderson and Jalen Carter, there is going to be some people out there that are saying trade them, right? Trade the picks. If Jalen Carter or Will Anderson are both there, I think it's a shoe, and you have to get those two. You have to. They're generational talents. It's almost like when we got Kyler Murray, the other two options were Nick Bosa and Quentin Williams, right? Those were the two options. Now, the Jets are looking to be very, very happy about the pick, right? The Quentin Williams pick, but we know the 49ers and Nick Bosa are completely killing it. They're killing it. So the Arizona Cardinals, what we need to do is we need to go after those generational talent, and we got to get the mindset of, oh, let's just get more and more picks. We need to, if we have a shoe-in person there that we know is going to work, there's no point in getting 3 prospects that are in the top 50, but none of them pan out. There's no point. You have to get the number 1 generational talent that's going to convert into the NFL. We have to. It's just one of those. It's one of those situations where you need to do the right thing, and the right thing is getting those generational talents. That's what it is. Yeah, exactly. We're not going for quality. We're not going for quantity. We're going for quality. Yes, we're not going for quality. We're going for quantity. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be ending the stream right here. I truly, truly thank you so very much for the bottom of my heart for you guys rocking with me. Thank you so very much. Truly. This has been an absolute fun. I just wanted to give you guys as much updates as I possibly can pertaining to the Sean Payton news, as well as the Kyler Murray news, which we already knew, but the whole 100% thing, which maybe kind of extends the timeline a little bit, little. So thank you so very much, everybody. I appreciate you guys for coming through. If you guys haven't already, smack the like button. Definitely do that favor for me right now. Smack the like button, subscribe, and join the family. Also, we are sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. If you want to get your pick'ems and try to win some money right now, we do got a promo going on. If you download the app Underdog Fantasy, you will be getting your deposit match up to $100. If you put $10, they'll give you $10. You put 20, they'll give you 20. You put 100, they'll give you 100. So take advantage of the free money that's coming in your way. If you do like to do that type of stuff, right? Getting a little bit more enticement by watching these games. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Underdog Fantasy is who is sponsoring this video. Thanks as always, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure speaking to every single one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.